Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another brand new show. Welcome back to channel. Welcome to Football Fans Zone with me, Taylor Banks. And on this morning show, we are going to be discussing everything that happened over the weekend, from the fact that Liverpool bottled the league to Arsenal also bottled the league, and now we have Manchester City back on top, in control right now. And we all know what that means. We all know what that means. And we are also going to be talking about Everton for throwing Alejandro Garnacho under the bus, the same way he did with Jadon Sancho. Not forgetting, I am also going to be talking about the fact that a goalkeeper, a washed field goalkeeper like Ben Foster, believes, I think he can actually criticize Andre Onana based on his friend, Michael Bridge. I am also going to be talking about Van Dijk. I told you guys, so I've been saying it for a very long time. You hear people that does not know anything about football telling you about Van Dijk is the best defender in the history of Premiership. Like, I never believed I was going to experience Van Dijk reigns come crumbling so soon. We are going to be talking about that as well. And I'm also going to be talking about Arteta. Yes, I'll be discussing about Arteta. I think it's high time he should be sacked. Then, I cannot leave this guy out. Cole Palmer. That boy should be in contention for the player of the season so far. Cole Palmer. He should be in the conversation for the best player of the season, because he has been phenomenal. You take out his goals for Chelsea, then we all know where Chelsea will be. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. And I think I'm going to start with Erik ten Hag. One thing it is, guys, Erik ten Hag is a fraud of a manager. I've been saying it for a very, very long time. Erik ten Hag is a fraud for a manager. Erik ten Hag, he needs to be arrested. He needs to pay for his crime. He honestly needs to pay for his crimes. It's a fraud for the manager. It's a disgrace. It's an embarrassment. This clown called Erik ten Hag, I was watching the match between Manchester United and Bournemouth. It is fair enough. You can actually say Alejandro Garnacho, for a while, I've not had a very good game. And I'll say that for a fact. For somebody who loves Garnacho, I'll say it. He has been crap. He has not really, I will not use the word crap. He has not really, been doing what we have seen him do this season. For the last probably 3, 4, 5 games. But one thing I can tell you is this, and I will say it for free. Well, the fact that he has been bad, he is still, him being bad in his worst days, he is still far better than Marcus Rashford. Now, the reason why I'm going into this is this. I was watching that game. There were so many players, Manchester United players, that had a stinker on that game. So many of them. Now, I have seen people, putting the blame, making it individual blame Someone putting blame on Marcus Rashford, and someone also puts blames on Casemiro, of which that is something I don't understand. So, if I'm going to be mentioning people that had a very, very bad game that day, I'm sorry, there are a lot of them. Dalot was one of them. Kwambala was one of them. Bruno Fernandes was one of them. Marcus Rashford. You could even say Kobe Mino as well. Garnacho. Then you have a manager that is a fraud of a manager, that is bloody useless, goes up on his press conference and puts the blame on one player, Andrew Garnacho. And mind you, before that, he took him off. He took Garnacho off. After he took him off, he actually threw him under the bus, putting all the blame on this 19-year-old. And mind you, I don't believe what people say. I hear people talking about he's just 19. Dude, don't tell me that. This guy you're talking about is just 19. Has a family. So if he's good enough, then he's able to do it. So I don't buy into the idea of saying he's a young player. No, I'm sorry. We have Kopama doing it in Chelsea. How old is Kopama? We have Lamine Yamal, playing for Barcelona, playing for Spain national team. For crying out loud, that boy is 16 years old. If you can do it, you can do it. Now you have to now go out there, throw Garnacho under the bus. So basically now, you are telling everybody that was watching that game that Garnacho was the reason why Man U were crap. That is what basically Ten Hag did. And the fact that he came on his press conference, they asked him a question. They asked him a question in a game whereby they were not supposed to win it. For me, I never understood how that was a pen. How that was a penalty. I never understood it. And the fact that you have Bruno Fernandes scoring it, celebrating, Ten Hag jubilating, tells you how low the culture, tells you how low the standard of football in that club has turned to. And it's a disgrace. That was never ever a penalty, never a pen. Never a pen. But what do you know? Manchester United fan will not mind. They will not mind. But wait, let a ref give that as a penalty against United. Then wait and see what their fan base will be like. This guy Ten Hag is a disgrace. It's high time he needs to leave. Because as day goes by, this guy keep sinking the club tradition down the drain. This client called Ten Hag was asked a question on the press conference. What does he do? He stood up and left. Because they were asking him a question that was actually the truth. He stood up and left. You actually went to a press conference and threw Garnacho under the bench. This was the same exact thing he did to Sancho. He did the same thing to Sancho. Though for one, I don't believe the treatment for Garnacho, or should I say, I don't believe Garnacho should be getting the same treatment he gave to Sancho. I don't. But what I'm trying to say is that this is the same thing he did to Sancho. And if Garnacho had gone out, not just liking to it, had gone out, has also twisted about it, you wouldn't blame him. Because you have a manager, a stupid fraud of a manager, coming at an press conference and putting the blame of them conceding a first goal to one person, or like putting the blame of the team becoming crap in 90 minutes on one person, Nganacho, and leaving out the big boys. Who is fucking scared about? This same person that is throwing Nganacho under the bus is the same motherfucker that was asked about Rashford when he went to Belfast. When he went to Belfast to party hard. This same clown. What did he say? Because I remember what the bastard said. The idiot said, it's an internal matter. This guy Kotenak, he said it was an internal matter. It will be treated internally. So, and people tell you about player power. You ask yourself, who is the person allowing the player power in the club? Who? Who is allowing the player power in the club? You have a manager, goes out there, you know you can mention, you can go out there and say everybody was crap. You can mention him, they were crap. What did he do? He left the big boys. Marcus Rashford. He's scared of Marcus Rashford, I'm sorry. There's nothing you want to tell me. That guy, Kotenak, is scared of Marcus Rashford. Goes out there and throw Garnacho under the box. Everybody else are safe. Is that a madness? And you have some deluded fan base, like Mark Goldbridge, still believes they should give him another year. I am sorry, guys. If Ten Hag stays another year in Manchester United, you guys should be ready for relegation. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If Ten Hag should get, he wasn't talking about 3 years contract. Said if it was Sergeant Ratcliffe, if it was Enos, he was going to give him 3 years, 4 years contract. Like, what the fuck are you saying, bruh? You're talking crap, bro. You are talking absolutely rubbish. You're going to give a manager like Ten Hag 4 years contract. Tell me, how bad can it be? I've seen Manchester United fan base talking about they don't want Southgate. Guys, how bad can it be that you rather keep Ten Hag over somebody like Southgate? Because you are telling me Southgate, Ten Hag is a better coach than Southgate. But has he proven it? Because he has not proven it. This guy spent £400 million on players, and yet you guys are still playing like rubbish. Like, I don't know what to use. This Ten Hag spent £400 million on players, and yet you guys are still busy. Like, I will tell you guys, under Oli, Goran Sojak, under Jose Mourinho, under Luis Van Gaal, at least you guys had a play pattern. We all know it was counter-attacking football. But tell me, what is the play pattern of Man U right now under Ten Hag? You don't even know. You don't. And you tell me Ten Hag is not, Southgate is not good enough. It's not good enough. It's making England look like brats, making them play crap football. Well, what do you know? Before Gareth Southgate came into that country to be the manager of that country, what have you guys achieved? Gareth Southgate was the only person that came into England, made you guys became a team that actually fights for trophy. Ever since being there, he has gone to semi-final twice. He has been to the final once. Though he might not have won it, but at least that was a massive progress from what the fuck you guys had in an England team previously. And you want to tell me about golden generation? You've got talent, and yet it's not playing well, it's not winning. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. Because I can tell you for a fact, there was a time England had the likes of David Beckham, Paul Scholes, Owen Hargreaves, they had Frank Lampard, they had John Terry, had Ferdinand, they had Ashley Cole, they had Gary Neville, they had Steven Gerrard, they had Joko. And what did they do with these players? They had Sean Wright Phillips. What did they do? Because all we know, England was still struggling from getting out of the group stage to go into knockout stage of tournaments. Then you have Gareth Southgate coming to the place. Then he made you guys relevant. Took you guys to final. Took you guys to go final. Took you guys to semi-final for trophies. Then you think you have the audacity to talk about a manager like that, comparing him to that Pratt got Tenag. You're telling me that Tenag have won Champions League for semi-final and has won so many Eredivisie. I'm sorry. Where is Eredivisie ranked in the league table? Where are they ranked? Because I can single-handedly do that job he was doing in what's it called? In Ajax. And I will tell you guys for free, I will tell you for free, Manchester United fan base, I will do a better job than Eric Ten Hag in that Manchester United team. I'm sorry. I don't even have a coaching license. But I will tell you guys for free, I will do a better job than Eric Ten Hag in Manchester United. I will never be as bad as Ten Hag. I'm sorry. You have a manager that is scared of talking to players, then you are saying you give me another 4 years contract. You're talking crap, man. I'm sorry. Talking crap. Moving on to Ben Foster. It is like seriously, man. It's crazy. Honestly, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was watching the McGovern show and I saw him talking to Ben Foster about Onana. And I was like to myself, I said, I watched this guy keep to Man U, Ben Foster. I watched you keep for Manchester United Football Club. And you think you have the audacity, the guts to actually criticize Onana. What has the word turned into guy? Dude, man, I don't understand. Though I don't really blame you, though. I don't blame Ben Foster. I put the blame on Mark Goldbridge. So you believe, in your small mind, you believe if there was somebody for you to actually talk to about goalkeeping skills, it was Ben Foster. Ben Foster, this same lad that kept for Manchester United from 2005 to 2010, only 12 games, 12 games, 12. Then you think that same keeper have got the audacity to criticize a goalkeeper that have done it in Ajax, done it in Barcelona, done it in Inter Milan, and now you're doing it in Manchester United. Then you go and bring a keeper like Ben Foster, who I know all his career, Stoke City, Birmingham City, West Brom, Kidderminster City. Tell me which of this club I mentioned that Ben Foster keep for you can compare to the level of Adriano. It's a disgrace, man. It's a disgrace. And one thing about this guy called Michael Bridge, he is always ready to go at Onana. Because you just want to be right. That you said you would not change De Gea. Well, what do you know? I also was not happy at the way they treated David De Gea. But that does not mean that you have to put every blame or every goal the Man U concede on Onana. You are only showing how much of a prat you are. Not every goal you conceive or the keeper save. You will be talking about the goal considered. You won't be talking about the positive side, the saves he made. The saves he made. In that same Bournemouth game, you're not talking about it. You're not. And Ben Foster, why don't you just shut the fuck up? Because if there's a man to criticize any goalkeeper, it is not you. I'm sorry, I watched your career, I watched how terrible you were. Like, I knew how of a crap of a goalkeeper you were. It was a ranking today, we can't even rank you. Like, if I want to say the worst keeper for Manchester United, I can't even put you anywhere. Because you did not really play. How many games do you play? Caro will come ahead of you. Tim Howard will come ahead of you. Kozak comes ahead of you. So tell me, where do you think you have the audacity to come outside to criticize the goalkeeper? Shut the fuck up, man. On to the next one. Van Dijk. Yeah, Van Dijk. You know, I was actually stunned when people were actually coming out to say Virgil van Dijk is the best CDM in the history of Premiership. Some people were even going and saying he's the best defender in the world in the history of. Like, man, I went ballistic. It's a shame that this is what football have come to. It's a shame that when you see a defender doing it right now, you forget about defender that did it consistently for years. Van Dijk. If I'm going to mention 20, I will mention 20 defenders in the Premiership that are better and have done it better than Van Dijk. I will mention it here. I will mention them here. John Terry was he does not come close. John Terry, it doesn't come close. Or Ferdinand. He was not as good as Ferdinand, I'm sorry. I will say it anyway. He was not as good as Ferdinand. Koscielny, he was not as good as Koscielny. He was not as good as Thomas Vermaelen. This guy was not as good as Sol Campbell. He was not even as good as Kolo Toure. Like, it is disgrace whereby you just see people that did not really see proper defenders or proper footballer do it. Come outside here, to just talk nonsense. People were talking about him being the best defender in the world. Whereby you have somebody like Nemanja Matic and Vidic that played for United, the only defender that won the best player of the year in England twice in a row. It is a disgrace what football actually become. Because me, I can't even be comparing Van Dijk to John Terry, Carlos Puyol, not to talk of mentioning him where the likes of Maldini, Nesta, Cannavaro, Hierro are. No, or Sagado, no. It's a disgrace. And that's what football have actually become. You have a decent good season, all of a sudden you are the best in the world. And that's nonsense. Nonsense. And that's what they come telling you about. Premiership is the best league in the world. Premiership is the best league in the world. Rubbish. The best league in the world. The best league in the world is turning to Farmers League. I'm sorry. The best league in the world is turning to Farmers League. Because you have Manchester City, Manchester City have not even been the Manchester City we know. I've been saying it that they are not dangerous. They lack something about them. And yet, they are winning the Premiership. Premiership is the most overhyped league in the world. It's just this boring league. It's overhyped. Overhyped league in the world. Because you have Liverpool, they bottled it against Crystal Palace when it mattered most. When it mattered most. When it mattered most. So you are telling me, in 9 years of club being in Liverpool, it was only able to win the league once. Won Champions League as well. And probably Carabao Cup and FA Cup. That is how you know how much this league is overhyped. That is how much you actually know and understand how overhyped this league called the Premiership is. Their media, I will give it to them. Their media are doing a great job. They are doing a wonderful job. The English Premier League, the media are doing a very, very good job. And this is why it gets the kind of hype it gets. Honestly. Because if we are going to judge with what that happens on the league, man, it's nothing to write about. And I guess that explains why when you come to the awards being won, that you ask yourself, why is Premiership lacking? The only two players that won Ballon d'Or playing for a Premier League side was Michael Owen, the year he left for Real Madrid, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Ever since then, go and check. Nobody have done it. And yet, it is supposed to be the best league in the world. Make it make sense. So it means everybody that plays in the Premiership is absolutely the best in everything. The best in everything. Once you play for the Premiership, you are best in everything you do. In the world, you become the best of everything. And that does not make any sense to me. It does not make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. The way this club gets the kind of hype they get, it does not make any sense to me. Van Dijk, I'm thankful that he has actually disgraced himself and showcased to the world that no man, he does not deserve the hype they give to him. Now back to Saka. As now to talk about Saka, because I don't understand one thing is that why does it seem that Bukayo Saka cannot be dropped? Because one thing I know is this, and I've been saying this for a very long time. Whenever he comes up with a bad game, remember, it was a stinker in that match. All he does is act as if he's injured. He starts limping. He did it against Bayern Munich. It was rubbish. Aside the goal he scored, it was crap. But what I don't understand is the fact that Mikel Arteta will not substitute him. I don't understand that fact. Why is it that you cannot take this lad out? He's tired. Or he's not performing. You can actually try somebody else. But what happens? It boils down to the fact that Arteta, when they signed Arteta to be the Arsenal coach, I was saying it, I said, I don't think and believe that Arteta is the one to actually, take them to where they want to be. And ever since then, When you look at what he has been doing so far, when you look at what he has been doing so far, you can tell. Tell me, Arsenal, they are nothing but a disgrace because they bottled the league. If there was an opportunity for them to win the league, it was now. But the honest truth is, guys, I don't blame them. I don't blame Arteta because how would you expect a manager that does not have the mentality to give mentality or win something in himself never won? We all know, like, people don't talk about how of a player he was for Arsenal. Like, I don't even consider Arteta as a legend of Arsenal. I don't. I do not consider him as a legend of the club. Yes, he got the job. What signings has he made? When I was saying that this guy is not a guy that is supposed to take Arsenal to where they want to be, people were looking at me as if I'm crazy. Because Arsenal did not only now trust this guy, they trusted him, they gave him the chance, they gave him the money. This is something they never did with Unai Emery. Unai Emery came into the club, the players they had, he said it, they were not good enough. He even got them to the Europa League final. Why was he sacked? Because he did not win Europa League final. That was why he was sacked. They did not want to bring out the money to give to this guy to do something. They did not. Now, they were backing the wrong manager, giving him the chance, giving him the money he needed. And the wrong manager thinks he's Pep. Like, Mikel Arteta thinks he's Pep Guardiola. Because he lacks, like Mikel Arteta lacks. If I was Arsenal, I would sack him now. And I will give you 4 reasons why I will sack this guy. I will sack him. 1, he lacks game management. Number 2, he lacks man management. There's what we call game management and man management. This guy, signings are horrendous. His signings are rubbish. Rubbish. All his signings are crap. Crap. Another thing I'll sack this guy for is the fact that he lacks the mentality. He lacks the mentality. And this is something Pep has. Pep has it. Arteta lacks the mentality. He lacks the winning mentality. And that is the one reason why they were leading Manchester City with 8 points. And yet, they still bottled the league. 8 massive points. They bottled the league. And you hear their fans talking about Manchester City dropping points. Like, to me, I've said it. Manchester City are winning this league. Because one thing Manchester City do is this. When it matters, they deliver. When it matters, they deliver. And you know what is that? I think Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, they know at some point these 2 guys are going to drop points. They are going to bottle it. So we need to keep winning our match. I'm sure that is what he tells them on the dressing room. Guys, we need to keep winning our games. Because at some point, Liverpool and Arsenal are going to bottle it. And if that is what he says to them, is it right or wrong? Is it right or wrong? Because you have seen it. They've bottled it. Manchester City are not dropping any points. till the season ends. Even though they come out now, take out players from everything and make a complete all-star team, Man City will still name the league. Now, Arteta knows very well that Saka have been having a bad, terrible game. You won't tell me you're not seeing it. You will not tell me you're not seeing it. His signings have been horrendous, crazy signings. I don't understand it. You brought in a Declan Rice, who for me was not even the problem, was not what you guys needed to win the league. And that is the fact. You had Pablo Vieira in the club, you had Elneny, you had Thomas Partey, you had Jorginho. What did you do? You sent Granit Xhaka out. You let him go for free. And let me shock you guys. The day Arsenal is losing the league to Man City, that was the day Saka is actually winning a trophy with Bayer Leverkusen. You see how great it is. The day Arsenal was busy bottling it against Aston Villa, that was the day Bayer Leverkusen was winning the league against Werder Bremen. You came into the club, you chased Aubameyang, you chased Lacazette, Pepe gone, Saka that did you nothing, gone as well. Then what did you do? You went out there, you signed, what's his name? Kai Havertz for £65 million. You signed Declan Rice for £105 million. £105 million is this is an amount you would have used to sign a midfielder, a defender, and a top striker. And like, it makes no sense. The fact alone that this guy just wants to just keep splashing Arsenal's money just tells you he needs to go. He has spent roughly £700 million already on players. £700 million. It's not madness. There was Tillemans available for free. Yuri Tillemans available for free. You did not decide to jump in for Tillemans. Rather, you will go for Declan Rice. £105 million and Kai Havertz. Dude, you need a very, very good striker. You need a good striker. You don't even have the squad depth to fight for a trophy. You don't have the squad depth. You don't. And it's a shame, man. It's a shame. Saka is tired. I don't know why Saka seems to be undroppable. And that's what I don't understand. Because time after time, we are seeing him drop stinkers. And not because he's not a good striker or a good player, but because this guy is like fatigue is in. He's a bit overplayed. He does not have any replacement. He does not ever get dropped. He does not ever get dropped. You can see the same thing for Odegaard as well. That game against Aston Villa, immediately he took out Trossard and Odegaard. I said, Arsenal losing this match. Because you are taking out the only person that was actually trying to do something, you took him out. You left Zinchenko. And the worst thing is that Arsenal Football Club are busy loading out players whereby they don't even have good squad enough in their team. And you loan players, make it make sense, man. And Kopama, is just something great. And I think from what I've seen so far, I think we are seeing a star. And for me, I honestly believe it should be in the contention for the player of the season. Don't tell me about for Phil Foden. Phil Foden is playing in the Man City team. No, don't tell me about it. We all know Palmer now is now leveled with Erling Haaland for the Golden Boot. Mind you, this was somebody that was signed for £42 million, showing instant and having instant effect in the team. Unlike the likes of Havertz, he has been good so far. I just wish Arteta did not just gamble that game, because you can also put the blame on Arteta. You had a player that has been playing as a midfielder. He has been crap all season. You moved him to be a false nine. You brought in Jorginho, and everything looked good. Then, because you are a mini Pep Guardiola, you overthink stuff. Put Jorginho on the bench, play Albert on the midfield, and use Gabriel Jesus. One thing you Arsenal fans lack to understand is that Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko was sent to that club to actually spy on you guys and fuck you guys up. It's as simple as that. And that's why I'm going to end it, guys. Today we are doing a watch along between PhD and Assassin.